5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Clingers Have Spoken. I'm Joel. That's Michael. We're the Clingers. We just watched episode 3 of season 46 of Survivor, and we're here to talk about it. We saw a lot of things tonight happen. We saw not a thing happen. Tribal didn't happen tonight, but we saw a lot of Bhanu. Just a big Bhanu energy episode today. Michael, how are we feeling?
Thanks. As the Boston Rob of this podcast, and you, my Philip, I'm happy to say that, dude, wasn't that so crazy? Like, I feel like the whole, so I'm referencing the point of the episode for our listeners when Q told Bhanu that Bhanu is going to be his Philip. I think the whole thing about someone being a Philip is that they don't know they're the Philip.
Right.
And yet, Bhanu seems totally down to play this role. He's like, as long as I'm in it, if I'm in the game, I'm happy. I don't want to get voted out. I will agree to whatever. And it's not like I'll agree to whatever now and then I'll backstab you later. It's straight up like, whatever. You'll talk to me. You don't want to vote me out? Great.
Bhanu just doesn't want to play Survivor. Like, he wants to make it far, but he doesn't want to play Survivor. Like, that's the vibe that I've gotten. He had the chance to get an advantage when he desperately needed one. He was like, I want the White Rock. I don't want it. And then he's just having people call him Philip to his face, and he wants to work with that person. However, when Kenzie's like, look, you got to give me options, and he doesn't say anything, he calls her a mermaid dragon and says that she's like very manipulative. And it's like, Bhanu, like, dude, like, what are you doing? Like, this is the worst a player on Survivor that I think has made it this far. Like, his tribe has lost 3 immunity challenges, and he's still in the game. Like, tell me one player that's like worse, that has been worse at Survivor, that has made it to the 4th episode.
Like, in the new era or in general?
In general. Like, he's really bad. Like, Philip was better than he is.
I don't know. Philip was like actively annoying people, which is worse.
No, I actually very much disagree with that. Like, Bhanu to me is the biggest liability you could possibly have on Survivor. Like, Philip is annoying, but he wouldn't have gone over to the other tribes, and been like, this is what's happening. This person is running everything. And he's not even doing that like out of spite. He's not doing it because like I want to flip. He's just like saying that information. Like, he is completely clueless. He is game clueless. And this, like, it is such a liability. Like, Kenzie's not going to make it further than whenever they swap tribes. You know? Like,
yeah, Kenzie's not that good of a Survivor player either.
She's only made like one mistake. But to have like someone just go rat you out for no reason, that like Q literally on top of the Philip comment, he literally said, like, you're a liability, but I'm going to make you an asset. He said, you're a liability.
Yeah.
And Bhanu's just like, yeah, I guess I am.
Isn't that basically what Caleb said to Emily last season?
No, because like Caleb was like, hey, look, I know you have strengths. I know you can do this. You've got to calm down. Like, I want to work with you. And Emily was able to be like, oh, shoot. Okay. Noted. And then change her game. Bhanu can't change his game at all. That's not the game Bhanu wants to play. Which, like, okay, I have a question for you. Do you like that Bhanu is on this season? Like, do you like that Bhanu got casted?
Yes. See, Bhanu, man, is so fresh. Like you said, we've never had another Bhanu on Survivor before. Like, I like it when there's people that are out there for different reasons with different expertise levels and things. Like, it makes it easier for like Bhanu's not going to win. Like,
No. So
I think that's a great thing. Like not everyone should be able to win that gets cast.
here's my thing though. Like, Bhanu being in the game is like a major hindrance for Kenzie and Tiffany and Q. Like, their games are gonna get blown up because Bhanu was just there and on their tribe.
I mean, Q doesn't feel that way. Q is ready to keep Bhanu tonight.
And yeah, well, oh my gosh, like every time we say we have one conversation, I just want to dart off into another thing that happened on that tribe, because that tribe is just a mess. They are an absolute mess. Like, okay, to reverse back to the first episode, have you heard the rumors of that Jelinski said that Q wanted to quit first in the sweat challenge?
Are those? Is that a rumor or is that like
he just said it.
Speculation? Jelinski
said it. Jelinski said that Q brought up quitting first.
I mean, good play by Q then.
So, and then Q's like, but I'm not a quitter. And at first I was like, why would Q quit? That goes against everything that Q says he believes at all. But then tonight, just because he didn't put the sandbag on the rings or whatever, he's like, it's me. Like, you guys should vote me out because I don't deserve to be here because I couldn't put the sandbags on the thing because that was me. That was my spot. Like,
but like,
what is happening right now?
I mean,
like,
I don't think like he actually thought that was going to happen.
Oh man,
I think that was him like trying to show like to them like I feel really bad about that I messed it up. Like, I don't think he actually thought they're going to vote me off instead of Bhanu, and I think he knew that when he said that.
Why would you say it though? Like, that, to be a tribe member and hear a fellow tribe member even say at all that they want to go home, that makes me so mad. If I'm an ally with that person, I'm going to be furious. If I'm not an ally with that person, I'm going to send them home. You know? And it's just like, you're even just like that bringing up is just like an anxiety for Kenzie and Tiffany, because now they're like, are you serious? We're going to have like a quitter and we're going to have Bhanu? Are you kidding me? Like,
but it wasn't saying he wanted to quit. He was saying like, you should vote me out as punishment for how bad I was at the challenge today.
I don't care. It's the same thing. That's the same thing. That's the same thing.
No, like in the sports meritocracy culture that Q comes from, if I don't perform, I'm going to get cut from the team. I'm going to lose my scholarship. So
yeah,
he's
that's
saying,
unhealthy, bro.
I didn't perform in the challenge. You should cut me from this tribe.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Because I would do the same to you. If someone else dropped the ball that much in the challenge, I'd be saying to vote them out. So you should vote me out.
I think that's crazy. Like, if Calvin
he didn't actually think he was going to get voted out.
Man, don't even like say that though. Like, if Calvin really comes on the Titans in the first game, he drops like 8 passes, I'm not going to be like, Calvin, like, you're cut, man. Get out of here. Like,
someone would though. A lot of people online would.
Yeah, but those people don't matter. Like it doesn't matter. Like, we need Calvin Ridley. Like, the Purple Tribe needs Q. They still value Q. Q is a very important player for them. And if Q were to go home, they would be absolutely screwed. And they would go tribal again. And then they'd vote out Bhanu. And it'd be just the two of them.
They're probably going to tribal again anyways.
Oh.
Like, they don't have a chance. Like, it's not like Bhanu cost him that challenge today. Like, Q is a D1 athlete, and he was getting shown up by well, number one, he got shown up by Hunter, but Hunter's probably practiced this challenge in his garage.
Yeah.
But dude's a D1 athlete, can't get a beanbag to sit on a tiny platform. Like,
that's not what he was a D1 athlete for. Like, that doesn't mean that he's going to be some god in the challenges. Maybe he thought he was going to be.
I'm always amazed, like these little throwing challenges, like throw a ball onto the rack or throw a bean. I'm like, guys, I could do this better than like 95% of people on this show.
I had the exact same thought. Like, I feel like growing up, we were always just like chucking things, playing like hoops with like the little basketball in our room or like throwing stuff in the trash can from like across the room.
Yeah.
That was the sport growing up for us. And I watched that. That's the one thing that I'm like, if I went on Survivor, I would be like, I want to shoot. Like, put me in the shooter role. Like, I'll be out there and I'll spray some, put me in there.
I think probably like the nerves and like the fatigue is probably like what's actually keeping them from and like rushing back and forth to get another beanbag and go pick up the beanbag. Like, they're not steadying their breath. They're not like taking a beat. Like, if they were doing that, they weren't so tired and nervous, they'd probably do it just fine in their own backyard. So I always do think, I'm like, I could do better than this.
Dude, that like rotating log in the middle of the water, I would never get over that thing. Like,
bro, but did you see Hunter hacked that tonight?
Yo, that was crazy. That was actually insane.
Every time that they do something that part in a challenge from now on, you're going to see people doing that. Yeah. Like, just grab the dude's legs as he goes over the last person, and boom, you're over too. Honestly, do it when the second and third people go over. Like, you don't have to wait till the end to do that.
Hunter hacked that. Like, Hunter's pretty creative with how he solves problems on Survivor, at least. And I mean, it makes sense. He's a science teacher.
The bed didn't seem to be working that much, though.
Yeah,
like his back was still on the ground.
Yeah, well, I don't know. But, like, still, like, that's just fascinating. And normally in Survivor, like, I'm like, well, it's kind of like the strength of your weakest people is what matters the most, right? It's not normally like your strongest person is just going to take you all the way. But Hunter seems to be dominating that because he has strength, but he also, like, can solve the puzzles. Like, he could figure out how to do it. He didn't even tell Tevin like ahead of time. It seemed like Tevin was like going up. He was like, hey, I'm going to have to use you. And then Tevin's just being pulled down. And then somebody just grabs his leg and like flings him over the thing.
Yeah.
Like, that was wild. That was wild.
Hacked it. He hacked that.
Like, hats off to Hunter. That was awesome. One of the bright spots of this episode. The rest, I was just like, I was crawling, like peeling my eyes out,
Yeah. I mean, I was hoping Randon was going to be able to give his Beware advantage to Venus, but Venus tweeted out that Beware advantages are non-transferable.
Oh, yeah.
So because like he hadn't found the idol yet, he couldn't because she said he tried to give it to her and production said no.
I gotcha. That makes sense. That stinks. But I had that same question. But wow. Yeah.
It wasn't like a Aubrey and what's that guy's name from Co Wrong where he just didn't give it to her. Her ally from the Brains tribe. He was like an ice cream truck owner or something. No.
I don't know.
The tall curly-headed guy who got removed for like an infection or something.
Oh, I don't remember. But wow, just like pour one out for Randon, man. It was fun having you on, buddy.
He seemed like a good guy. Sad to see him go.
Yeah, he was like a fine character. He had some game acumen, had an attitude. That's fine. It works with me,
I was wondering like why we saw him in Venus's like story a little bit last episode. I was like, maybe they're gonna take their tribe by storm, and like maybe she still will end up like finding that Beware advantage that he didn't get. Like, that would be cool. Like, I don't think they're going to go and move it. Yeah. Although, I mean, I guess they would have to like re-hide it because he had already found where it was in the clue, but maybe not. Maybe
Yeah,
not. Maybe she'll have a leg up on where it is. I don't know.
because I can't recall if he said exactly where he found it, but I mean, yeah, she made us be
Not
able
that
to.
we saw. He didn't see, or he didn't tell her.
Yeah,
But that doesn't mean he didn't. That we didn't see. So
yeah. I don't think
Root
it'll be
for
that big of a
Venus.
deal, though. I don't think Venus is going to last very long.
I don't know. I
I
don't
think
know. I
she
could see
either-
her going a ways.
I think she either gets voted out pretty quick, or she like goes really far. Like I don't see her as like first member of the jury type person.
Oh no! Like if she makes the merge, like she could easily just jump ship to the other tribe, and it could be the complete downfall of Orange.
Yeah,
Like what some other people have done in the past. Like where it's like, oh, full on, it's Orange tribe versus Green tribe. Is it Green tribe? Yeah. But with purple in the middle, but then as soon as Venus is like, nah, I'm on the other side. Like, it's over. Sorry, Tevin. Maybe you should have been my friend when you had the chance. Sorry, bro.
yeah, yeah. Man, what else happened in this episode? Just like there was so much Yanu, Yanu.
The mood was so light whenever they told Purple that Randon was going home.
So
it was like a triumphant score for the Purple tribe, and they're all like, "This is a victory for us." Like Kenzie was like, "Oh, 100%, like feel for him." It's like, no, you don't. No, everyone's happy here. Even Jeff was grinning about the whole situation. He's like, Bhanu stays another day. Thank goodness.
Here's the thing, like, I feel like they probably did have a moment of like, oh my gosh, like he got like medevaced. That's like really sad. But of course they're not going to show that. I'm sure the producers were asking them. They're like, so you don't have to go to tribal council tonight. What's that like? I'm sure that they showed that clip and not probably like the instant like, oh yeah, someone got medevac. That sucks.
Well, I mean, except that honestly, Bhanu and Tiffany were both like so happy when Jeff showed up at their camp in the first place.
Well, so was the Orange tribe. Liz was like, Jeff. And then
yeah. But it was pretty obvious why Jeff would be at their camp. Like as soon as Jeff rolls up to their camp, they should have known he's either getting checked out or he's a goner.
Yeah, so like they shouldn't have been happy to see him. I think it's just like, ooh, Jeff's here. I'm happy. Like I think that's just like an instant reaction. Whereas
that's strange to me. I'd be so concerned if Jeff walked in. I'd be like, what's going on? Who's going home? Is our season getting canceled? Like,
is COVID back?
Did we not get like did CBS not have $1 million for the winner of this season? Like what's happening?
Is one of my family members like sick?
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Yeah, Jeff never really means like good news, I feel like. Even when you go to challenges, you're like, oh, I'm gonna have to like work a lot right now on an empty stomach, so I don't go home. That's annoying, Like the only happy time that when you see Jeff is like when you successfully vote someone out of tribal council or if you win a challenge. Every other time it's like, Jeff, please stay away.
Survivor auction in season 45.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And they said they're not bringing it back.
Nope.
Okay. I do want to like talk for a period of time about Bhanu going on the journey and
in shambles,
breaking down, not even being asked about, like, they were like, what's the vibe like? And he was like, I'm pretty sure I'm going home. And it's just like, bro, like, oh man, you like, even Ben's so nice, dude. I love Ben. Like,
Ben's awesome.
Ben's just like the best. He's just like, hey man, hey brother, like, you'll come back from this, like all this like really nice stuff. Liz is just being like, oh my gosh, like what's happening? And then Bonnie's like, they call me like a liability and say that I don't know how to play the game. And Liz is like, they said that to you? And I was like, oh my gosh. If you only knew. Like, if you only knew who you were talking to right now. Like,
I think she did. I think she was like, yeah, that sounds about right, actually. You are seeming like a liability in this moment.
oh, man.
Ben was just like, it's okay, man. Like, anything can happen in Survivor. Like, oh, see, dude, you got one of the blue rocks. Like, it's possible, dude. Don't give up. Don't give up hope. Never give up, man.
Yeah. So nice. So genuine. Like, he's just, oh, man. You know, and then Bhanu dropped the bar. You know, I didn't come here to win $1 million. I came here to win 1,000,000 hearts.
Man. He's got my heart, that's for sure.
He does not have mine. He does not have mine. Like, you know, if I ran into a Bhanu type person in my life, like, I think it'd be really fun and I'd be happy to have a Bhanu in my life. Not as a Survivor player. This is like, I think the biggest problem for me is that, like, I'm getting really annoyed at how bad of a Survivor player he is. Whereas you and some other people may be like, like, this is such fun TV.
I enjoy how bad of a Survivor player he is.
Oh man, it just makes me sad though. Like, it literally makes me sad because I'm like, Bhanu, like, what are you gonna take from this experience? Like, he's probably gonna take that he's not good at Survivor, but that's because he's a good human, which that's great. Love that for you, my guy.
I will say, like, I like it pre-merge, but like, if Bhanu's like unpredictability or like inability to keep a secret like keeps the post-merge votes from being like interesting or like deceptive or explosive, then I'll start to be annoyed with Bhanu. Like, if it's like, oh, they were going to do like a minority vote split, but then they were going to have to rely on Bhanu, so they didn't. And then the big tribe just voted out the little tribe. Then I'll start to be like annoyed. Yeah. I'll start to be like annoyed that Bhanu messed that up at that point. But like pre-merge, like, this is what the pre-merge is for. Like, characters like Bhanu to like Bhanu out and like Jelensky, the Jelenskys of the world. Like, that's what it's for. Like, let them have their little 15 minutes of fame. Let them get voted out probably. Maybe one or two make it to the merge. But like, you know, I like, the thing is, like, I would much rather someone get to the end and be a 0 vote finalist that is like completely like crazy and like got drugged there than like someone like who I'm actually been rooting for this whole time, like an Owen, getting to the end and being a 0 vote finalist. And like, they knew that they were trying to do strategy, but like, it just didn't work. Like, I'd much rather like the crazy Nora person get there and be the 0 vote finalist at the end. Yeah, someone who like thought they were doing something the whole time.
You didn't like the guy from last season. I forget his name. The white guy.
I literally don't. I literally forgotten who that is.
Because D won and Austin came in second with 4 votes, but then there was a no vote finalist who like couldn't connect with anyone all game. I can't remember.
I literally don't remember who that is.
Okay. Nick? No, I don't know. But yeah, no, I prefer the other way. I disagree with you there. I like having that kind of controversy. Like, you didn't like when Michelle got no votes in Winners of War.
Well, like, she would have gotten some, but people wanted to make sure that TV won. Tony, that is.
Sure, yeah, but like, I prefer a no vote finalist that I actually respect for coming on Survivor and playing a game. Like, I will not respect Bhanu as like a Survivor player ever. As a person, yes.
Maybe he'll come around. Maybe he'll get better. Like, I think what Q said is true. Like, he could go from being a liability to an asset. Like, he's honestly, like, he's not that far away. Like, if he simply would just zip it. That's all he has to do. He doesn't even have to like actively lie. He can just plead the fifth on stuff. And he would be a much better player.
He can't. In this episode, he did say 2 lies. They were some of the worst lies that I've seen on Survivor in a while. And they were the smallest lies ever. When he came back from the journey and said, yeah, so like we went and picked bags and then I got a white rock and I went home. And like Tiffany was like, was that it? And then he's like,
why was there just balloons in your screen, bro?
So I don't know. I think if you do like a hand signal, it'll do like, yes. Yeah. So like, I didn't do that. Zoom did that. Teams also does that. I also found that out this week. I don't know. Maybe I have like animations on.
Maybe your webcam can sense that better than mine can.
It just loves. Yeah.
See, this is why the people should be watching on YouTube.
It wants to celebrate
if you're
our
listening
faces.
to this, you have no clue what we're talking about. You also don't know that Joel's guns are out right now.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Sun's out, guns out. Boom. For Joel.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. So, yeah, maybe I'll just keep the balloons going all day. That's the 4th time. Anyway, what were we talking about? I'm sure we were talking about Purple Tribe.
You're still ragging on Bhanu, probably.
Yeah, probably, because that's the only thing. That is the thing. That's what we do this season, because that's all there is to do this season. There's like, I would love to talk about Siga, but they showed maybe like 6 minutes of Siga content, and it was all just Jem finding the Beware advantage, and that's all we have. There was no conversation about like, I trust this person, I built this alliance. It was like Jem just being like, I got it. I put it in my pants. No one noticed. I would love to talk about Siga. We know nothing new about Siga. And that's what's bothering me. We're focusing on these bad players. These players that don't deserve to be there. Like these players that are ruining like the game for other people.
Isn't that what you said about the Tika 3 also?
No, because I think I liked those people. Like, I like those people. I don't like Bhanu, like, at all. I really like Kenzie. I really do like Kenzie a lot.
Oh, no. Kenzie is the worst.
What's wrong with Kenzie?
She's trying way too hard, bro.
Kenzie's worse? Dude, no.
Q
Here's the thing.
and Tiffany are awesome.
Yeah.
Kenzie, I'm not a big Kenzie fan. I think Kenzie is so manipulative. But like it's so transparent that she's so manipulative.
No. Yes. Okay. So like the only reason
she also has no empathy at all. Bhanu's literally crying to her, and she gave him absolutely nothing. Like no human moment. What was she
supposed to do? If she says, "Hey Bhanu, like I hear you, I'm with you. Like if you want to work together and get somebody out, like." Let's work together. And honestly, she said that. But she wasn't going to say, like, let's vote Q out, let's vote Tiffany out, because Bhanu can't shut his mouth. So even if she was just being nice and wanted to give him hope, she literally can't, because Bhanu just says everything that he ever hears in every conversation that he has.
She didn't have to give him any game stuff. I'm just talking about just like can I give you a hug? Like, can we just...
She gave him a hug.
Can we hug? No, not at that conversation she didn't.
Oh, my gosh. Like
she was just like, well, if you don't have a name, then like, whatever, bro. Like,
the only reason you think that she plays too hard is because Bhanu and Jess and Jelinski didn't play. Like, they refuse to play the game. Like, they don't play the game. And when someone plays the game, it looks like they're playing too hard because the other people are not playing with them.
Playing is relative. Like it is. Like if everyone else isn't playing, like she's trying to play like Zero Dark 30, and like she needs to be playing like Risk. Like, like this isn't, DEFCON 4 or whatever. Like this is just the basics. Like we're just talking about like who you're vibing with, voting out the people you don't vibe with. Like that's what we're talking about here. Like Q and Tiffany, man, I'm all for them. And I hope that they vote Kenzie out. I don't think they would have tonight, but I hope that they would. And it seemed at least as if Tiffany was like mildly okay with the idea.
Oh my gosh. If they do that, they're so dumb. Like I get why Q wants to do that. If he knew that Bhanu just went and ratted out everyone, which appears to come out next week. So we'll see what happens next week in the Bhanu saga. Also, timeout. Like early on in the episode, did Q say Bhanu's name right? I'm pretty sure he said it wrong twice in a row in a testimonial. I think he's called him like Boona. Like
who cares? Like that's not the point. But okay, so if they had voted Bhanu out, or if they had voted Kenzie out, all that stuff Bhanu said would have been proven untrue. So that actually would have been like in their favor to vote Kenzie out.
But that's not the point. The point is that Bhanu cannot be trusted. He cannot be trusted. He's not, he wants to be loyal. He can't be loyal. He doesn't know what loyalty in Survivor looks like. Like, all he wants to do out there is live on the beach and have fun. And that's not the game. It's not the game.
That's fine. I love you, Bhanu. I'm sorry, Randon.
It's like you go to like a pickup basketball game and you try to like include this person, but this person like doesn't want to play. Like this person is like catching it and then like running without dribbling, and they're fouling constantly because they don't know the premise of like what is a foul and what isn't. And it's bad. It's bad. And I don't like it. And I'm tired of watching it. Rant over. Can we talk about something else, please?
Yeah, let's talk about the Titans.
Okay. Do you either A, want to talk about the free agent haul, or B, talk about Derrick Henry?
I think we can simply talk about Derrick Henry and say, great player. Hope he gets into the Hall of Fame in the two-tone blue someday.
Yeah.
And I hope that he rushes for 2,000 yards and the Ravens win 0 games.
Yeah. Or like if the Titans beat them in the playoffs, that would be cool too. I'd be fine with that.
Can I just say, in Main Street Preps, you should hire me for this take. If you think that signing Calvin Ridley was dumb or that we spent too much money, you're lost, man. Get help. It was a great play to get Calvin Ridley on this team. You know why? Because it doesn't matter how much money we paid him. It literally doesn't. We don't have any like good draft picks coming up that we're going to have to pay. Because guess what? We've only drafted terrible players in the first round for like the last 4 years. Like the next guy we have to worry about maybe re-signing at a high number is Skoronski. But guess what? He plays guard. So it's not going to be that crazy of a number.
And he hasn't played that well, to be honest. Like the next guy that we're really going to look at paying a lot of money that's on a rookie contract is Will Levis.
Yeah. And like I think Ridley, like he's only got guaranteed money on the first 2 of those seasons. So like we could like if there is like if Traylon Burks like pops off, becomes a great player, and we need to give him the big contract when his rookie contract is up, okay, see you, Calvin Ridley, that's fine. But like the only goal in the next 2 years for the Titans is deciding, is Will Levis going to be our franchise quarterback?
And hopefully that will only take one or less than one season.
Yeah. But we can't know if we don't have an offensive line and we don't have wide receivers. We can't know. So if we draft Joe Alt, left tackle, which I don't know if he'll be there at 7, but let's hope that he is.
Or whoever the best tackle is. Like
there's like Oluwaku or whatever.
They're like 6 first-round tackles this round, like this year. Let's just get one.
If we draft a left tackle, right tackle's still going to be a little bit iffy, I think, this season.
Yeah.
But, okay, we have a decent offensive line and above average weapons at wide receiver and running back. Okay, now we can find out if Will Levis is the real deal or not. There's literally no consequence to like signing Calvin Ridley at that number. Like, it's cap room.
Right.
We had the space. Like, thank you, Amy Adams Strunk, for being willing to pay for this.
It's not a trade. It's not trading draft picks that we desperately need. It's not trading like 5th round picks or 3rd round picks or 2nd round picks that we just need bodies for. Like, we just need young guys in the building to play a role and see if we can develop them into something else. We just sign this guy. We just pay this guy money, which is the thing that we had. It's the resource that we had. We might as well use it. And honestly, like, my thing is, I don't really care how the defense looks. We're not going to win the Super Bowl, you know? Like, it's maybe let's just get some young guys in there, see who sticks, see if nobody does. Then we can just figure that out later. But we got to figure out this offense thing, because this offense thing is where the league is at. And I feel like the Chiefs proved that you can fix a defense with young guys. You can fix a defense with scheme, you know? And you can't do that with the quarterback. You can't do that with the offensive line. You can't really do it with wide receivers, except I guess the Chiefs proved that if you have Patrick Mahomes, then you can do whatever you want. But
well, and like defense, I don't think we're done in free agency on defense either. Like, we're in talks to get L'Jarius Sneed maybe in a trade, which I don't know if we have to trade picks this round, especially a second. I would not want to trade my second for him.
Yeah.
But if we could get away with trading like one of our late round picks
and like a third next year or something like that.
I'd consider that. I don't want to trade picks in next year either, actually. Like, so I'm okay with not getting him, but we're still talking to DJ Reader, Justin Simmons,
Jerome Baker's on the table, I guess.
Eric Armstead's name got mentioned in the last couple days. Chase Young's name got mentioned in the last couple days. He seems like he would just be Clowney 2.0, like younger Clowney, which I'm not really interested in. I mean, like, he went to San Francisco and didn't do much.
Yeah, but like he's still got sacks. And like, the dude has crazy talent. Like, to me, it's worth it. Like a 1 or 2 year deal.
I don't know if he's got that dog in him, to be honest.
But like, honestly, who cares? Let's find out.
But like, let Rand cook. Like, this dude is popping off, and they're doing the collaboration. This is the kind of stuff they weren't doing with Vrabel.
Correct.
Like, it's so obviously that like Rand is working with the coaching staff to figure out what kind of guys they want. People are like, why'd you let Derrick Henry walk? He's only making $1 million more this year than Tony Pollard. It's like, because Derrick Henry is not a terrible scheme fit for what we're trying to do here with Callahan. So, yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited for the future. And that's a good place to be as a fan, I feel like.
This season's even going to be fun. We might not be great, but I think it'll be fun. We'll be competitive.
Yeah. Well, cool. That's that. We talked about Titans. We also talked about episode 3 of season 46 of Survivor. We talked a lot about Bhanu because he is the face of season 46 right now. And we will be back next week. I'm Joel. That's Michael. We spoke. See you later.
Peace out, y'all.